In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the turkey work stitch, and more specifically the cut as you go turkey work stitch, which is a little bit different and I think a little bit easier. But when you're done, you'll get an effect like this, which is very fluffy and dimensional. As you can see, this stands up pretty good ways off the canvas. And a lot of turkey work traditionally is done in different wool fibers. That's what this is done in glisten, which is wool with a little bit of sparkle in it. You can also do it with silk. I've done it with straw silk from Silk Road's fibers. I've done it with fireworks. You can do turkey work with a lot of different threads, but most traditionally you see it in wools. But I will go ahead and get started and show you how to do this. So I thought it was very appropriate to show you how to do this stitch on an actual turkey canvas that I have. So one of the first tips I want to tell you is actually when you're doing turkey work, it's a stitch where you're, depending on how you look at it, you're either going to build up or build down. I think the best thing to do is actually to flip your canvas upside down and start at the bottom of the area, which will end up being the top of the area that you're doing the turkey work. This just makes it a little bit easier to do the stitch when you start at the bottom, whether you flip your canvas upside down or not. But because I flip it upside down, it gives it a little bit more volume. As where you'll see as I do the stitch, the fibers kind of lay flat, and then when you flip it back over, they kind of stand up a little bit more. So that's one kind of different thing you do about this stitch. The next different thing is, normal needlepoint stitches, you start from the bottom of the canvas and put your needle up through it. For turkey work, you start from the top down. And you want to start, really it doesn't matter whether you start on the right or the left hand side. I usually start on the left hand side, the first area where I need a stitch. So in this case, that would be here. So if you kind of see, this sort of center position is what I'll call your one position. So you're going to put your needle down through that hole, and you're going to leave a little tail. And the size of this tail doesn't really matter. I usually try to keep the tail around the size that I want the final turkey work to be, but you're going to give it a trim no matter what. So if anything, make it, on the longer side, not the shorter side. But that really doesn't matter too much. So I'm going to hold my tail there, and then I'm going to go up on the hole just to the left of it, of where I first went down, and then back down to the hole to the right where I first went down. So you can see I have the center where I first went down, come up on one side on the left, then go back down on the right. And before I pull this loop all the way through, I'm going to bring my needle back up that center hole where you first went down, and make sure your needle is on the underside of this thread, and pull all the way through. So when you're done, you'll see sort of, they call it like a half hitch stitch, which will look like a little loop over those two threads that you just have on either side. And now the cut as you go turkey work is you cut this string off here, and then you do the whole thing again. Traditional turkey work, you don't cut until the very end. When I first did turkey work, the light bulb just wasn't going on for me. And once I learned this cut as you go, it made a lot more sense. I find it to be a lot easier. So then you're going to go to the next completely open hole to the right and do the same thing. So you're going to go down that center hole. Oops, try that again. You're going to go down the center hole and kind of hold that thread there. Then you're going to go up on the left, and that's the hole where your previous stitch just came down, up, and then you're going to go down to the hole of the right of there. And before you pull that all the way through, which I accidentally just did, you're going to come back up that center hole, making sure the needle's underneath the thread loop, and pull, and then you can cut. And that's basically it. So you keep going all the way to the right, and then kind of you can zigzag back over to the left. If you want to keep going in the same direction, that's fine too. But then once you're done, completing the whole section, then you basically flip your turkey work back over. You can kind of push these down so they sort of stand up more straight, and then you can give it a haircut. So if I show you back to this other canvas that I've already done this, I actually haven't given this one sort of its haircut yet. So you can see, you know, the lengths are kind of uneven here, but I will go back through with scissors or with even a trimmer and sort of even that out a little bit. But as you can see, those threads are sort of standing straight up because I started kind of upside down, and it just gives it a fuller look. So I hope that helps. And again, reach out if you have any questions and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. And please subscribe. Thanks so much.